Okay, so here we are taking a look at my Seiko Cocktail Time dress watch. I'm sure if you've done some reading in forums or if you've spent much time watching reviews on the internet, you've probably at least heard of this watch. And there's good reason for that. It really is special. Now, this was my first ever automatic watch that I bought, and it still holds, pride of place in my collection, and I probably will never get rid of it, just because it was number one. It's not the best watch that I've got. It's not the nicest watch. It's not the coolest watch. But in a lot of ways, it's probably the quirkiest watch. It's a bit out there, and I kind of like that. Okay, so what is it that puts this watch together? I mean, we've got a fairly basic stainless steel case here from Seiko, high polished. It's quite nice. We've got a sapphire see-through case back, which, as you probably realize, I don't particularly like, but it is what it is. 6R15 movement there, fairly much undecorated for the use in this watch. If you don't know or didn't realize, I'm not terribly a fan of see-through case backs, so I really don't see the point. And I prefer to have a nice engraved case back personally. The crown there with the little engraved Seiko S, and this interesting hardlex crystal domed glass or perspex or whatever you'd like to call it. Domed crystal, hardlex crystal. So those of you who are new to the watch, I suppose the main thing that you'll notice, and the main feature of this watch, is this incredible dial with this radiant silver sunburst pattern. You'll see a lot of photos of this dial, and it will look a little bluish, or it may look slightly different colors. And the main reason for that, I think, having used it, is that the silvery grey or pearl color of this dial tend to take on some characteristics from surrounding colors and surrounding light. So if you were to look at it in the late afternoon in that low sort of orangey light, it will take on a warm tone. And if you're near anything blue, it'll take on a very cool bluish tint, which is kind of nice when you're out somewhere where there's colored lights and things. It becomes quite interesting to look at. Now, the fun thing about this watch is the little details, and the little details are what really make it. You've got these really nicely shaped applied indices, high polished. You've got beautiful high polished steel hands and a high polished steel date window surround. And if you notice, the second hand is an electric blue. And a lot of lights that'll look black. And in a direct sunlight, it will really come out as a very strong blue color. It really is beautiful. Really is beautiful. Okay, so that's quite a bit about the dial. I love the dial. The dial's something special. Now, the straps that it comes on, leather bands. Really, these things don't get a lot of love from punters. I think the leather's okay. People say it looks cheap. I'm not sure. You know, it's got that blue stitching to it, which I think is really a nice little detail. One thing that I struggled with, and still struggle with, is this deployment. The way it does up, I find it really fiddly to use, and I don't like it. I'll be straight about that. It is well made. It's solid. It's got a beautiful shine to it. But yeah, I don't like the way it works. And these straps too, you know, people poo-poo them a bit, I think, probably because of the shiny black leather, but they actually feel quite nice when you're wearing them. So, you know, I don't think that they're that bad. So, the things I like about this watch, definitely the dial. The dial and the details make it for me. I think they really set this watch apart from, you know, from nearly anything else that you'll see around, particularly anything in this sort of price range. What else do I like? I like the size. I don't know exactly what size it is, but it's around the 40mm mark, around the 40mm diameter. It's not terribly thin, but it sits on my wrist nicely. I enjoy wearing this watch. It feels good. It fits under a shirt cuff without any problems. You know, it really is a comfortable watch to wear. Now, what do I dislike? I dislike that clasp for sure. The strap, you know, that's a bit of a take it or leave it kind of thing. And I don't care for the case back, but you know, your mileage on that will vary, I'm sure. Some people are going to like it. Now, one of the interesting things about this watch is that it's got a bit of a story to it. You know, these watches were designed in collaboration with a well-known bartender from Tokyo, a cocktail maker, and in collaboration with this guy, Seiko made 3 cocktail time models, 2 of which you can't really buy anymore. They're fairly rare, and this one's the 3rd. So, as the name suggests, it really is a dress watch, an evening watch even, I'd go as far to say. And you know, I get good enjoyment out of wearing it for a drink. You know, if I'm ever going to go out and drink cocktails anywhere, you know, you can be sure that this is going to be on my wrist. So, what do they cost? They're about $400 US if you buy them online. I bought mine online from Japan from memory, and it was just a touch under $400. I think at that price, you know, it really represents good value. You know, it's Seiko, made in Japan, and for Seiko, I'm a massive Seiko fan, and I'm a massive fan of, you know, of any highly developed and well-made Japanese products. But with Seiko, I will only buy Seikos that are made in Japan. I won't buy a Seiko that's made in Malaysia or, heaven forbid, made in China. You know, you can buy good watches made in Malaysia, made in China, but if I'm going to buy a Japanese watch, you can bet sure as shit that I want it made in Japan. That's just me. it's one of those things, you know, if I'm going to buy a watch made in China, it's got to be one that's designed and built and, you know, is Chinese, not a cheap version of something else. Anyway, so to the point of this, and the point of any review, I guess, do I regret buying this watch? No. No, it's an excellent watch. Will I keep it? Yeah, more than likely. I will keep this forever. You know, it's just got that something different that you don't see every day. That little bit of interesting factor, little story to it. And to be honest, I don't really need a lot of dress watches. You know, I'm not a big dress watch guy. This is about as dressy as I'd go. So it works for me. I you know, if your needs are fairly simple and you're interested in a little bit of a quirky number from Japan, then this could be the watch for you. I definitely think it was a good buy. You know, I definitely don't regret it, and I don't think anyone that buys it at the right price would regret it. You know, if you like things made in Japan, you like quality Japanese products, or if you're just looking for, you know, a really nice automatic watch at a reasonable price that not every Tom, Dick and Harry is going to have, you know, I'd recommend this all day. Okay, what do you think? Let me know. Do you have one? Excuse me. You know, if you've got one, let us know in the comments what you think about it. I'd really like to. I'd really like to know, as I've never actually met anyone else who owns this watch. Okay, so that's it for me today. Just reviewing another one of the watches that I've owned for quite a while now. And yeah, have a good weekend.